welcome to another episode of Living Single with Dan and Danny. As always, I am Danny, and in front of me is Dan.
I hate your voice. What's up?
How you doing, man? It's a beautiful day, you know. Gold's dripping, you know.
You getting the glasses, bro? I like it. They see through?
They are.
Oh, wow. All right, whatever, man. Big money. New glasses, new Xbox.
Today we joined by two lovely ladies. Would you want to do the pleasure of introducing yourself to our audience?
You go first.
I'm Mary. I know Dan and Danny through Wingate. I'm a mom, a wife, a teacher, and soon to be doctor, just to throw it out there.
Oh, okay. Our second doctor, you know.
My turn now?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you ain't no doctor, we don't want to hear it. Say it.
Okay, so I'm Christian. This is my second time here. I guess I should introduce my whole self like you did. I am a mommy, a wife, and I'm not going to talk about my job because I'm not happy.
You're a blogger.
Yeah, I'm a blogger. L. Ryans on Instagram, Pinterest,
That's on YouTube, right?
Facebook, YouTube. Yeah.
Gotta plug everything. And what is it? Just Ryans?
L. Ryans.
L. Ryans.
See, you know, follow.
Okay. Look at
Well,
that.
see, you don't follow.
Get me off. You guys want this? My bad.
We want to bring y'all on today to talk about a couple of things. Both of y'all married. Y'all been married for some time, mothers. And to someone like me, I can't fathom what that's like at this current stage.
Being a mother or being married?
Being a parent and being married. So I want to know, how did you determine that your husband was going to be the person that you spent the rest of your life with?
Okay, so how did I know D was the one? I just feel like I just knew. Like, I know that sounds like really cheesy, but I just knew, like, I had dated people before, and for whatever reason, it just wasn't working with those people. But when I met D, like, I just knew, like, okay, this is it. Something about him just made me feel like, okay, like, this is my person. And so it wasn't easy. But you know, we made it work. We have a beautiful little baby boy now. So yeah.
How early on did you feel that way, or how long did it take? Because I feel like there's a difference between, like, Dad, I really like this person, I love this person, versus like, nah, this is my person.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like I knew before we even, like, officially got together. Like, I just knew, like that's my person. And I don't know what it was about him, but I just knew. I just knew he was it. So yeah.
Oh.
Well, I guess mine was different because I was in high school, and, like, how do you know somebody is the one in high school? You don't really take anything serious in high school. So I literally barely got LeSean. Like, he was about to graduate, and I had known him. I had been trying to get with LeSean for like years, and LeSean was really quiet.
It was a courting.
So every time. And what brought my attention to him was he was this A student in pre-cal, and I suck in math. And he would just do it so effortless, and I was like, yeah.
He can shoot him anytime.
So every time I would talk to him, he would just be like just give me this nasty stare, like, girlfriend, get away from me. Like. And so I barely got it, like, May. I just slid up in his DMs and was basically like, hey, you want to hang out? You want
MySpace DMs?
MySpace DMs.
Hey.
And it went from there. But, like, even then, it was still like, we just in high school. Like, I'm not taking this serious. And then we ended up going to college together.
Did y'all plan that, or?
Well, yeah, he went off to Winston-Salem at first. And he came back home, and I was like, so who you dating now? Because I can't date somebody that don't have an education. Like, that was just my belief.
Oh, shoot. So why y'all was dating? You was like, who you dating? Because you ain't in school.
Yeah.
Like,
so then he ended up coming to Wingate with me, and y'all see what we were in Wingate. And we went through hardships in college because, again, it's college, and what are you taking serious? And I knew he was the one, I guess you could say, like, all along. But, like, as we grow together, it's like still stuff that be like, yeah, you definitely my person.
I just want to point out, this woman got with her man in high school, stayed together through college, got married, and she chased him. So women.
Chase your nigga.
Women.
Chase your nigga.
Chase your nigga.
Go after what you want.
And you might be happy. That's all I'm saying. You don't always gotta be the dude.
Now, I don't know if it was a chase though. I did.
He was
still like, yeah, I'm still trying for that.
Sounded like an aggressive person.
was sliding the DMs on MySpace.
Right.
It's nasty. You made on your top 5, didn't you?
And he was playing basketball at the park, and I was at the park with another.
The park?
No. I was at the park with another guy that I was dating, and I saw LeSean playing basketball, and I was like, while I'm at the park with this other guy, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely about to slide his DMs tonight. Like,
damn.
This is done. This is over.
I ain't never heard that part.
This is done.
Women and men are the same.
No, men don't do that.
Because the guy I was dating with, I'm like, you're not as smart as LeSean. You're not as cute as LeSean. Like, and obviously you can't play basketball like him because you're on the bench. You haven't gotten in yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a bunch of stuff. But anyhow.
And that's that.
I don't know if that's shallow or respectable. Like, he could be a good guy. So if he's not smart and not athletic, who cares?
He's not. I think like he's like in and out of jail or something.
Oh, you made a good choice.
Oh, perfect choice.
Perfect choice.
Maybe he wouldn't have been in jail if you stayed with him.
right. Maybe he needed a strong black woman to keep him out. You could have been with the third. I'm like, damn, I can't play basketball. I'm
nothing in life.
I didn't tell him that.
You just start robbing
He's never supposed to.
He got a hint.
Oh my gosh.
For me, like, I think I've struggled with, because I've dated and I don't know, like I get bored really easily. Mm-hmm. And I could like somebody in the beginning and then it's just something happens and I just get quick turned off and I'm looking for the next. So I can't fathom like one person. I felt that way for one person before. While I looked at it and I'm like, damn, like I'll drop everybody for this person. But I don't know if that makes him the one or what.
Yeah, I don't know. Why you looking at me?
You're not in a relationship, man.
But again, I'm not the one married. Like, so the ups and downs that they both talked about, I'm going through that stuff. So like, I don't know. Like, but now, I mean, I think for me, the most important part, when you talk about, he jokes about, being in the streets at one point in time. I ain't gonna say he ain't now.
Like thotting and bobbing in the streets?
Nah. I mean, at one point in time.
Yes.
But now the streets mean like just dating, going out. But I'm on the sidewalk.
Okay.
I think the big difference between that and wanting to be with somebody long term is like that connection. Like you always can hang out with people and have a good time with the opposite sex. Like that's easy, but to do that consistently, to continue to enjoy the person and to build that connection, that's the rare part. So for me, I think once you find somebody you build that connection with, then I guess you got to start again. I don't know. Yeah. I guess you got to start looking at, okay, now that we connected, how do we get on the same page as far as like future and next steps and all of that, which can be just as difficult. Because before you can move forward, you got to deal with your past, whether that's previous relationships, previous traumas with friends, family, and all that. So that's difficult. That's why I take my head off to them and their husbands, because like they had to overcome that to get to where they are. So it's like,
this has been what? That's 20 years almost.
No.
Yeah.
15 at least. You said
high school? But that's senior year though. So at least
that was his senior year. It was mine.
2009.
2009.
Yeah. I mean, it's been
15 years.
That's a long time.
And I will tell people, like, for one, when I was in high school, I was real this goal oriented person. Mm-hmm. So when I dated a guy, like, if you didn't have like this thought of going to college, doing something, if you didn't have some type of plan, I wasn't interested. Yeah, I wasn't interested. I think I went through my tough guy phase when I was in like middle school, early high school. So by the time junior year came, I wanted somebody that was just as focused as I was.
Is that a phase that all women go through? They want like a tough guy hood.
Yeah.
Listen, my phase ended quickly when my mama beat my ass. And I said, yeah, that's tough guy phase over.
I used to sneak out the house.
Talk about it. Don't be ashamed of your past. Don't be ashamed of your past now.
I did not do that, but go ahead.
Talk about how scandalous she was now.
I mean, like, not real scandalous, but I definitely had a type. I liked dudes that were heavy into drugs and guns.
Wait, like they took them or like they sold them?
I mean, a little bit of both.
Good.
I used to be, you know.
What intrigued you about that?
I just like that life because it wasn't a life that I knew because I grew up in
the opposite.
The complete opposite. Yeah. So like I was just always really intrigued. Like, oh, you know,
this really goes on in real life.
Yeah.
That is crazy because I'm the complete opposite because y'all know my dad struggles with drug addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in the house with a drug addict. So I knew the other side of not being the drug dealer, but the family had to deal with this issue. And so if in high school, if a guy told me that he smoked weed or anything, cut, bye. Like it was just this because I'm terrified to even try drugs because I see the impacts of it. So I knew I couldn't be around it. I knew that's a risk I couldn't take. Like in my head, if I smoke weed one time, I'm gonna be a crackhead. Like that's in my head. Like it's in my head. Like that's in my head. And so mine was completely opposite. And when I finally met LeSean, he was like, it was like no issue for him. Like he didn't do anything. Like LeSean just literally play video games. That's it. So I was like, okay, check. All right.
Women need to embrace the gamer. Like. You know what I'm saying?
A
man that just play games, you don't gotta never worry about.
I'm not gonna say a man that plays games, a man that plays a gaming console.
Nah, so you play it all day. No, because we grown. I'm about to see what you play this game.
You just gotta make time.
What you mean? This is joy.
I think
all day.
No. I mean, if y'all want to have the talk, I mean, we can have the talk. Let's
talk about.
If women actually had a hobby, right? Get mad at us for having a hobby. Like, y'all wouldn't be mad at us for having a hobby. You find something to do, which I'm doing what I want to do, and then we have.
But that's not always the case because this is the issue. A lot of times, y'all expect us to be inside of the house while y'all playing this game.
Okay,
like for me, it's like okay. I tell LeSean, okay, bye. I'm about to go do such. Where you going?
I mean, don't you ain't spending my money.
You just occupied. You were fine.
Listen, don't you ain't spending my money.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Preferably,
we share accounts. I'm gonna spend money.
Okay, well that's a different conversation. Let me know how long I can and can't be on the game.
Go spend the money, but bring back something to eat.
Okay.
No, because I ain't doing that.
What? I can bring
Why you being
back.
petty? Right. That's the petty. I hear the petty in your tone. I hear the petty in your tone.
Because we should be going to eat somewhere together.
We can after I finish the game.
Yeah.
But how long are you going to be playing the game? We got things to do.
I'm a rookie in the league.
So first of all, we really
in the league.
We don't got
support me on my career journey.
Oh my gosh.
Because in the back of my head, I'm like, you can't just pay to upgrade that thing and
you can, but it ain't the same, man. It's like it's like taking. I know we're getting off on a tangent, but it's like being an athlete and you getting on steroids. It's like, all right, cool, but in the long run, you're gonna pay for it. Like the real athletes, they're gonna run laps around you, so you gotta put in that time, that effort, that grind. You know what I'm saying?
On a video game,
yeah,
for sure.
It's fun. It's like. It's almost like a stress reliever, meditation, hanging out with you. It's COVID. That's how I get to hang out with my boys.
So an hour and a half is good, and then we can go on by.
I think an hour and a half is because it go by quick. So the hour is like a quick second on it. So I say an hour and a half is the most generous.
Okay.
And if y'all really want to be super nice, let them have 2. But an hour and a half at least is solid.
He does get that because now that we have Savannah, what he'll do is he'll be like, you need a break? And then I'll go and I'll lay down and he'll have Savannah in the living room and while she running around tearing it up, he'll be like just playing a game and like she's just doing what she want to do. So he'll do that
for like hours. Yeah. That's a dad. Yeah. All right, well, you good? You look.
And like I sleep late and they get up super early. So he'll go ahead and take her while I'm sleeping late and he'll be playing a game in the morning. And this is how I always know he's playing a game. If he's not playing a game, I hear Coco Melon. If he's playing a game, it's complete silence.
Yes.
And I be like, why do you always turn the TV down so you can play the game? He's like, because if you hear, you can come in here and stop it.
Right.
Haters. All right, I got a question, and I don't know if y'all know the answer to this. Why all women?
There you go with all.
Women, I know.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to walk it back or not. I feel like I want to stand it.
Just keep going.
Why all women say they dating for marriage? Like I feel like that's cap. I feel like it's cap.
I mean,
they would like to be married, but I don't think every time they're going into like, oh, I see this dude. I want him to be my husband. Sometimes I see this dude, he's attractive. I want to hang out with him.
Yeah.
I don't think it's always I'm dating for marriage. I think they just throw that out there because they don't want no dude wasting their time.
Yeah. Why do you want your time wasted though?
Yeah. Is time ever wasted?
Well, I think time can be wasted. I think time can be wasted. I feel like I've dated plenty of guys like before I met D that were just
on drugs.
I mean, some of them were on drugs. Some of them were selling them, but you know, just like a waste of time. Like you, like kind of like what you say, like you don't have any focus, you don't know what you want out of life, you don't have any goals, and so yes, you're wasting my time because you're not going anywhere. In 20 years, you're gonna be doing the same exact thing.
I'm gonna be leveling up.
Yeah, and so I think when people I think men say it too, like when you're dating for marriage, you're dating with that goal in mind.
Purpose.
Like this is what I know I want to be married. And so when I'm dating someone, I'm trying to see if you could fit that picture with me. I think that's what people are saying.
I think that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dating to see who I can do life with.
Yeah.
Like, and if it's different, women bring out, or men in a sense for women, can bring out different parts of you or expose different parts of you. So that's why I say it's time ever wasted. Because if I'm dating somebody and I go in with the mindset, oh, I'm only dating for marriage, I may shut off that person's lesson.
And that's my only point. Like, it can't be, oh, I'm dating and it's marriage or not. Like, nah, sometimes you just got to date to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
And once you in it and y'all establish, okay, I'm trying to learn and grow, and hopefully it'll lead to marriage, you go from there. Like, I just feel like it's hard to say, like, every woman, like, that's what I just seen that on my Twitter time. Like that's all they say. Like, if we ain't dating for marriage, I'm at the age now, I'm only dating for marriage. You don't want to date to learn, to figure out how to be a better, like, person, like, too? Because that can lead to marriage.
What has both of your experiences with marriage been like? Because I think we see this romanticized image of marriage. And I think for me, definitely, my parents were divorced. And my mom has been married 3 times. So she's now in a successful marriage. But me growing up, I've never really seen what a successful marriage looks like outside of movies and TV. So
Which is cap.
Yeah. So what is a reality like for people that have been married and successful in it?
I think my story is similar to yours. So my dad is a womanizer and my mom has been married 3 times. And so for me, I just had to figure out my own picture of what marriage was and what it would take to make me happy. And so I didn't have a blueprint. It was just something that me and Dee kind of sat down and just kind of figured out, okay, we're in this together, but what do we want our happiness to look like? What do we want our happy place to look like? And just building from there, just that same like goal setting, okay? And one big thing for me was going to therapy because I had a lot of trauma from seeing my mom being married 3 different times. Not that she like did anything, but that was just kind of like a lot of transition. And then my dad kind of being all over the place. I kind of needed to clear my mind. I needed to kind of get a clear picture of who I was too, in order to be able to then come with Dee and create that kind of picture together. So it was a lot of moving parts, I think, in order to create my reality of what my truth is. And I think that your truth is going to be different from yours, you know what I'm saying? But you have to really sit down with that person, really sit down with yourself and figure out what you want that to look like, because it's different.
Y'all do that before or after y'all got married?
We, like, when I went to therapy?
Or, well, just to sit down and to goal set and all that. I feel like that's something, a lot of times people date and they just go through the motions, through the flow. And not to say that's bad, but a lot of people don't know, like, in life, you just have to think about stuff.
Right.
Because you don't know how conditioned and programmed you are to do certain things or want certain things. So to sit down, especially come to agreement, I think that's rare. Yeah. So... just curious when it happened.
We did a little bit before, a lot more of it after. Before it was more like preliminary things like, okay, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or what do you want to do? Like those kind of conversations. And then after we got married, I was basically given an ultimatum to go to therapy because I was just wilding. My temper was just ridiculous. And so that was kind of like forced upon me, but I still go because I enjoy it. And so from there, we were really able to do like that really tough work. To kind of get us to where we are now. Can I
say, I'm sorry, we're going to get I had like that question. I know, but I don't want to forget. So you said like the preliminary stuff, like, okay, what do you want to do when you grow up, blah, blah. If I'm not mistaken, you saying that happened like not too long ago, like before the marriage.
Yeah, before we got married.
And so I think that's important because I feel like a lot of times people think, okay, when you date somebody, oh, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? But like when you're dating, like it can transition like time. So, and and I think again, going with the flow, that's like a generic, I want to do this, I want to do that. But when you're about to get married or think about or being serious, you really answer the question.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. Like you're not always going to know your partner just because y'all been together X amount of times or y'all hung out. Like it takes soul searching and a life-changing decision to get. So I just thought that was interesting that she shared that.
What about you, man?
I think we talked about this before. Ours are similar. Like my parents, my parents are married, but they were totally out of love. So I watched my daddy like cheat on my mom. Like I saw him run the streets all through high school. I'm like, Mom, why are you doing this? And then she just stayed. And then my freshman year of college, my mom went ahead and said, I'm going through a divorce. And my mama's biggest fear was my daddy get alimony. And so she finally obviously had money to save up and get this big divorce and blase. And LeSean was raised by a single dad. He lost his mom when he was in like kindergarten or first grade or something. And so he comes from something very different from what I came from. And so we knew then like that wasn't it. Whereas my grandparents, I thought they were the perfect marriage growing up. My granddad was the breadwinner. My grandma was a stay-at-home mom, and she was a housewife and stuff. And I was like, hold up, that ain't what I want either. Like, my grandma ain't make no decisions. My granddad was like, what say go, and like, so we've been building our own thing and learning as we're going. I can't say we sat down and had a discrete conversation of what marriage is going to be like because we don't know. So we can't say what our expectations are. We can't base it off what we've seen. We can't base it off other people. It's just what works for us. And I will say for the last 5 years, I can't say in any year I was married to the same person, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like I've been married to broke LeSean that worked at the prison, This man, he just grabbed his little clear lunchbox and went to work and came and did his thing, and he was quiet and he was antisocial. And then now I have like this dad LeSean that's sociable, that go and do dad things, and he has his group, he has his people, he has his career goals, and it's like a totally different person. And it's like sometimes I'm staring at him and I'm like, I can make 50 more of you. That's how I am in my head. So, and next year probably be totally different. Did we have some really low points after we had Savannah? I was looking at this man like, I could literally kill you. Like, and I don't know what it was. Like, I had to talk to one of my other friends. And I was like, did you go through did you just hate your husband? Like, and she was like, yeah. She was like, I thought I was going to get a divorce. Like, that's how bad it was. And like, there were times like I didn't know what was going on. But
that's a good transition. So was that because of, you said hormones, was that after the pregnancy? Like your hormones just crazy?
Because you just crash. Like you spend 9 months building all of these changes, and then you deliver, and it's like everything just almost stops, and you just kind of like come down off of this high of 9 months, and you just feel crazy. You feel crazy. Like there's no other way to put it. Like I resented D, like, because I just felt like you didn't have to sacrifice anything. You didn't have to change anything.
Like it's his fault, right?
Yeah, like
y'all do that with everything.
But I felt like it was though. Like you feel like it is because like you just go through so much change in those 9 months. And sometimes I would look at D like, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I think I just want to eat like, I don't know, something. And I'd be like, man, I can't even eat cold cuts because Listeria, you can't even have that, So
I ate mine though, but
you did? Oh, I didn't. Yeah. I was too scared. But it's just crazy. So yeah, like after you have that baby, please.
And for me, it was, I had quit teaching. When I found out I was pregnant, I had literally just gotten into nursing school, found out about my acceptance and everything, and I found out I was pregnant. And me and LeSean decided like there was no way I could go to nursing school full time, pay that tuition, and like all of that be on him. So I didn't work. I was kind of soul searching or career searching while I was pregnant, and I was home for over a year. And so it was like I got to this point where I was like you're building your career. Like I was envious of him to that point. Like you're out, you're building your career, and I'm here washing dishes, folding clothes every day with your child every single day. And we reached this point of like I was job searching, so I couldn't go pay $300 a week on childcare. And my cousin actually was like, well, come stay with your mom and I'll keep her, and you jump back into your career. And that was really like what really gave me the push to get over that resentment towards him. But even now, like my daughter rides to Shelby with me to work, and I come home and be like, I didn't get a moment to myself. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand why you get to do this and you get to do that. And then 10 minutes later, I'm like, want to come lay down with me? Like, and like, it just happens. And to my defense, I'm still breastfeeding. So I still have those hormones like rushing, and some days like I'm just sitting there crying for no reason, and then the next day I'm like, come love me. Some days I'm like, Savannah, get away from me. And then some days I'm like, no, come back.
So that's normal.
Yeah.
How do Darian, how does LaShawn handle that? Those emotions?
Yeah, I'm about to say I'll be going. Well, they got the game.
I think LaShawn used to it.
Yeah, I think D was he was actually really, really calm, because my whole pregnancy was like crazy. So by the end of it, he was just kind of like, okay, like we just got to talk through this thing. Whatever you want, I don't even care what it is. You can have it, because at this point, I've seen enough. Like, I understand. You want this, you can have it.
Right.
Just order it. It'll be here tomorrow. Don't even worry about it. So
that's what you gotta do.
Now,
keep your peace. Look,
mine was a bit different. So because I was breastfeeding, me and Savannah just had this bond. Like, and then I was home while I was pregnant, so I just had all this time with her that LaShawn didn't get, and he became resentful towards me.
What?
Like, why does my baby love you more, basically? And like, I would see him like sad. I could see it in his face. I could see it in his energy. Like, when she first came home, LaShawn was home like 6 weeks straight. She wanted nothing to do with him.
That's crazy.
Basically. And it was like, I want my mommy, because for one, she's my main source of nutrition.
Yeah, that gotta hurt.
Number two is I done been inside of my mommy all this time. And so he was like very resentful, and like, I'm telling you, like, it was terrible. And we were just like butting heads, because I'm like, what you want me to do? Just throw my baby at you? Like, I don't know what you want me to do, because if I give her to you, she's gonna cry. She's gonna want me. So that was one thing we had to overcome, and now she loves us.
Them early, I mean, in my opinion, I would want the early infant stages. We could fast forward past that. Get to 2, and then come hang out with daddy. You know, once you learn how to talk, then we'll hang out. You know, because I ain't about to be playing the guessing game. Yeah, go see your mama.
But to my defense, like he was, even though he was feeling that way, like, there's nothing that I needed during that time. Like, for the first week or two, we didn't even come back to Charlotte. We were out in West End. I don't know if y'all know what it is. It's Southern Pines area. We were out there in like this gated community, remote, away from everybody, because we just wanted to be just us, our baby. And then my mama was staying there. I didn't change a diaper for the first month of Savannah's life.
Really?
Sheesh.
That's good.
Like, he did everything.
And that's a lot of diapers in the beginning, too.
Yes.
It was.
It's not the same as a 1-year-old or 2-year-old diaper. Like, there's a lot of diapers in the beginning.
He did everything for me. And then I had a C-section, too.
Yeah.
So I really couldn't move like I wanted to. My mom was making me do all this stuff, and I actually ripped back open. So I literally had to be... Sorry, TMI.
Not TMI. I'm just squeamish. Like, any, like, all that stuff. Like, this girl told me one time she had to get stitches, and like, I'm just squeamish. It throws
like,
me off.
Birth?
Yes.
Yeah, you get stitches.
Listen.
Well, I didn't have to worry about that.
Listen. I get it. That's what we're here for, right?
Did you, going through that experience now, would you do anything differently, like throughout the pregnancy, childbirth, afterwards? Would you change anything?
I would have kept my job. That's the only thing I said. I think I told you that before. I would have kept my job just because I think that was part of the issue of my temper tantrums that I was having, was that I miss teaching. Like, I love teaching. Like, I thought I wanted to be away from it. I guess I could say I'm thankful that I stepped away from it a little bit, because then I realized how much I loved it.
Yeah.
And so once I got back into that, like, my temper tantrums
have come down.
Yeah, significantly.
I don't think there's not really much I could possibly do to change my whole pregnancy experience, like physically, because the next time I have a baby, it'll be the same thing, essentially. But I wish I would have done the opposite. I wish I would have quit my job while I was pregnant, because I was so sick. It was hard for me to work. Like, it was almost impossible, and I pushed myself and pushed myself and pushed myself until finally COVID shut down everything, and I was able to work from home. Yeah. So it was kind of like, I know it's a bad thing for everybody, but it kind of worked out in my favor, because I was able to spend those last 2 months like trying to like get my life together.
So the sickness lasts throughout the entire pregnancy?
It can, yeah.
Really?
For some, so I had, what is it called? Hyperemesis gravidarum, something like that. It's like morning sickness all day, but the whole pregnancy. So I was sick as a dog. Like water was nasty. Yeah.
I see why they resent it. Yeah. I see. Be sick with me now. Thank you. You sound like, why are you so energetic?
Twice, though.
Really?
My entire pregnancy, I only had morning sickness twice. And that was the morning I found out I was pregnant. I came over here to Chamberlain.
That's what I thought.
And I took that test. And I was like, I must just be queasy.
Yeah.
And because my backstory is that I struggle with infertility.
Okay.
From when I had cancer when I was 3. And so they did a bunch of stuff, obviously, in my brain. And it altered a bunch of stuff. And so that about a month before that, we had started our fertility drug, and she did her ultrasound, and she said, "There's no possible way you're gonna have a baby." That day, that moment, I went to the parking deck and I cried. Like I cried. I was ready to run myself off the parking deck. Like I was like, if I can't do the most basic human thing, why am I here? Like I was ready to end everything.
That's a blessing right there.
Yeah, and I called my mama, and she had to calm me down. And I was like, "Mama, that's what you're supposed to say." I hung up on my mama. And I'm gonna tell y'all what's crazy. That same day, in that moment, I went through Instagram, I think, and Kendra had posted something about whenever you need a mental day or something, just take it. And then it made me feel like, okay, somebody else is struggling mentally. I'm not just crazy. Yeah. And that was what really got me to drive back home, to drive back home and not end myself. And like, I didn't get out of bed for like 2 weeks maybe. And like, that's why I always put hats off to my husband, because every day he tried. He would get me into the shower. He would get me back to bed. Like, it was a lot. And so I just thought I would never have a kid. So that's why everything that go along with it, I'm fine with it. And then that day I got real queasy the day I took the test for the nursing entrance exam. Yeah. And I was like, I done ate. Like, I done took the test. I done passed it. Like, why am I still feeling terrible? Took the test. And I immediately sent a picture to Monique. If you know Monique, you know Monique a little different. So she like, I don't see anything. Okay, she spoke. Let me get somebody else. LaGwen, do you see the line? And then LaGwen was like, I definitely see a line.
Yo, hold on. Imagine a Mo seeing that like, Mary. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Mo was like,
nothing's there.
And then like, I done had a pregnancy, because my mom's close friend is an OBGYN, and that's who did my prenatal stuff. So I had a pregnancy confirmed and everything. Monique, 5 days later, well, Mary, I think I may see a line. Girl, I'm pregnant at this point. I love Mo. That's my baby. But I was just like, girl, and LaGwen like, and I'm on the phone with LaGwen, I'm like, girl, why Monique done text me talking about some? She still not some girl who's been to the doctor and everything. What you talking about? But
so
yeah.
Did you, after that 2 weeks, was it like, okay, we don't care what the doctor say, we gonna try? Or like, were y'all just being grown and it just happened?
No. I had gave up. We had been trying since 2015. A little bit after we got married. And I knew I would have problems, because they told me in high school that I would have problems. So my thing in 2015 was that I was just going to start trying. And it happened eventually. Yeah. But then after 2 years, it was kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then after that third year, that third mark, I was kind of like, okay, we're celebrating our third anniversary, wedding anniversary. Still don't have a baby. Like, I was still like, I was crazy in it. I was completely a lunatic. Like, a lunatic. But we kept trying. And then at that moment, I was just like, well, maybe the Lord want me to go to nursing school, and that's why I'm not pregnant yet. So I was like, I'm going to go to nursing school, and then I'm going to go back to trying. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, Lord, you don't want to go to nursing school, obviously, because I'm pregnant. So, but we were going to foster. We had started signing up to do foster parents, and then we found out we were pregnant, and sorry, little foster kids, but so we're going to revisit that.
So the perseverance, y'all just kept trying, and it worked out. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Grace of God, child.
So y'all don't try anything?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for me at this point, 4 years. I'm about to say, to me at this point, especially if they told you couldn't, you did. Well, shoot, obviously I can. Right. So
yeah, My doctor was like, whenever you need a prescription, just go ahead and let me know. You can have the next one.
Yeah.
Like that. And that's the good thing behind medicine is that in my head, all thing I have to do is take a pill and I'm be pregnant. But I feel like it's just not gonna go that way. But
you never know.
You never know.
You never know. Do y'all have all right, so my thing was like I see a lot of people on social media as of late talk about postpartum and things like that, and then it just hit me like, yo, women go through a lot. Like a lot, and a lot of times men don't even know, like, especially the men that just, want to have sex with women. And so when they having sex with them, if something slip up, like, nah, they gotta go through all this, and half y'all don't want to deal with it and put up with it. Like, now this woman gotta go through like the worst type of experience. Sometimes, I mean, some people got smooth pregnancies too, but like either way, I would imagine it's not easy, even if it's smooth, pushing a baby out. So some part of that is going to be difficult, and like for you not to be there or at least not understand it. So I just want you guys to come up here and speak on it a little bit. So before we go, like, do y'all have any suggestions or any advice or knowledge for any woman that isn't pregnant, that may be looking to be pregnant, and any dude that maybe has a woman pregnant or thinking about, like, what would you tell him to, like, will be patient, be understanding, like anything y'all like to share?
I think for women, I think the biggest thing is to be patient with yourself. I had a miscarriage like 30 days before I got pregnant with Sage. Which was,
I didn't know bodies could work like that.
That's so crazy.
So I had a miscarriage. I think it was like 7 weeks. And I was like devastated. And I didn't think that I was going to get pregnant like that fast again. But it did. And I think that just being patient with yourself, allowing God to work is a really, really big thing. Like you can't force your body to do anything that is not going to do. You just have to be patient. Mm-hmm. You have to be patient. You can take medicines and things like that to help. Shout out to progesterone. But there's really only so much that you can do. So you just have to really be patient with yourself. And I think as far as like a partner, your partner is just gonna have to learn to they're gonna have to deal with it.
That'd be tough.
What the task y'all be giving us, man? Like,
that's real
it's
though.
hard.
I feel it, but shit.
It's hard. Like, I was sick from day one. I was sick until I delivered. So
you had a whole 9 months, right?
Strength.
Well, I was only pregnant 8 months, but yeah, I was sick the whole time.
Being sick 8 months, fam.
Yeah, straight all day, all night. I could barely eat. Like, I was in the hospital multiple times. Like, you just have to kind of like deal with it.
Imagine how scary that is as a partner too, and because you can't do anything.
Yeah.
And all you can do is support, but eventually you're gonna get tired of that. Like,
I ain't get tired. It's like, well, Dad, like, I'm just saying it's gonna be okay, but like, I can literally can't do that. It's their battle that they gotta fight, so it's tough.
So just be supportive. Yeah, just
be supportive and tough.
Yeah, and just help whatever your partner needs. Like, help them. Don't leave your partner by the wayside if they're pregnant. Like, help your partner, because it's tough. Even if your pregnancy is easy. No, even if your pregnancy is easy, like, you still need support because your brain is just all over the place when you're pregnant. Like, oh my gosh, I felt like a ugly cow the whole time I was pregnant. Like, it's awful. It's awful. It's so bad.
I can't remember anything.
Yeah, like, you can't remember anything. Like, I could be having a conversation with somebody and they would like ask me a follow-up question. I'll be like, wait a minute, what you talking about? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I couldn't remember my doctor's appointments. Like, Alicia, I had to track them because I couldn't.
It's wild.
I would cry because I couldn't remember stuff.
Yes. I cried one time because my pizza wasn't cooked right.
I cried every night that I had to sleep sitting up.
Yes.
Because I had real bad acid reflux.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have, and heartburn, so I would have to sleep like this. And like, I just want to kill Lishan because why you get to lay down?
You talk about I'm comfy now. The night that you feel this pillow?
It's wild.
I would say, So I would say, like, same thing she said, ladies, be patient. But also at the same time, ladies, choose a partner. Don't choose like what's appealing, but choose somebody that's willing to drop everything for you. Do not be letting these niggas raw dog if they
okay.
For you.
Come on now.
It's just needing somebody that's willing to drop everything. Make sure that your child is, if you can, created in literally love, because that's something I'm very fortunate to have. My daughter was created in pure love, and my husband in the middle of shift will drop what he's doing. He could be in the middle of a race, drop what he's doing, and go running.
Going free today.
Lucky day, buddy.
Get somebody that wants to go through the journey with you, and not somebody that feel like they're being forced to do it.
That's important because I feel like, especially with social media, people, I don't want to. What's the word? They like. I don't want to say sexualize, but like the way they look at their kids and like you're choosing a partner based on how they look and how you want your kids to look. When that's not, I mean, cool. Don't nobody want an ugly baby, but
Mary, talk about it.
Somebody's got to do it.
She'll be on Twitter, man. Why this person show me their baby?
But don't choose a partner just because they got good hair. You want your kid to have good hair. Like, nah, don't do that.
Now, if you with your partner and then you're like, all right, this gonna work because they got X, Y,
and that's
cool. But like again, to his point, it's like it's way deeper than that. Mm-hmm. Like even finding your partner before you even talk about a baby is
because the secret is to this day, I don't sleep in the same room with my husband and my daughter.
What?
Because my postpartum anxiety, even now, I can't sleep well in the room with her. He can sleep perfectly fine. He has to position her a certain way in her crib or in the bed with him, and he sleeps fine. But he still has postpartum anxiety as well.
Mm-hmm. What? Men get postpartum?
Yes.
I'm learning new shit today.
But I mean, I can get it because again, you dealt with the woman, like for example, that had morning sickness. Like you experienced some of that too. So like mentally,
Sean, like if he hears a strange noise, he's like he has to jump up, and so like he jumps up out of sleep all the time, like to check on her, like she can be sleeping peacefully, and he'll jump up, and he have to go look at her and stuff like that. But at night, once they both go to sleep, I leave out of the room and I go into the other room because I can't.
You be anxious that way too, like
I would be, and I have to get up early. He don't have to be to work to 12:45, so he takes that sacrifice, and so. I go in the other room and that's the only way I can sleep.
I never knew that.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
Did you resent Savannah when she was first born?
Oh no. I can't say that. I didn't resent her. I would look at her sometimes and I would just be ready to just die because that was the only solution. Like I can't hurt her. I can't figure this out.
Right.
Let me just die because that's the only solution here.
Oh my gosh. I used to wish somebody would come get Sage. Like, will his mama come get him?
Yeah.
Please, will his mama come get him? Because I'm over it.
You are his mama.
I know.
Yeah. But it's just like, you don't want nobody else in this world.
Yes. Like, oh my God.
I'm Christian. He got Sage mama, you got Christian. Christian want to go over here.
His heavenly mama.
Yeah, somebody.
It's like, because that postpartum is wild. Like, you just... you have to build that relationship with that baby, and I think that's one thing that people don't really talk about. It's a whole new relationship. They don't know you don't know them. You have to work to build that. So when he first came home, he spent a few days in the NICU, and so when he first came home, I was like,
"Who you?
Can somebody come get him? Because this is too much. Like, what you mean? I have to feed him because I was pumping at that time. I have to pump. I have to feed him. I have to change his diapers. It's too much going on.
After I kept him for 8 months.
Yes, like somebody come get him. He's getting on my nerves. So that's why I wanted to ask you that because I felt like I think in that I kind of felt alone because everybody was like, "Oh, I just love him so much. I just love him. Can I just hold him?" And I'm like,
"Come get him!" And I hate that. Like, don't be like. This is my issue that I had, that when you're pregnant, you have this whole big old support group and they're going to be there for you and they can't wait till the baby comes and blase. And then when you have this baby, it's literally just you and this baby, no support. And it was just me, her, and LeSean. Now, I will say hats off to Khadijah because anytime I was having a terrible day, I could be like, "Hey, Deej, I'm not feeling well." And like within minutes, she coming through with whatever food I wanted. Like she has my baby. Like she was there. And ever since my pregnancy, or even when I was pregnant, Khadijah, I was like, "Khadijah, I just really want like this crazy order from such and such place." Yeah. And she was one way to get it and come get it. And I can't say she was there the entire time. But as for even family, like you think you're going to have this big support group with your family and literally I have to like drive all the way to Anson. If it's not my mama or my sister-in-law, I don't have anybody to give us a break.
Yeah.
But I think that's another thing, like when you talk about marriage and just dating, like the programming, what we see, like, again, we can't like undervalue what TV or social media shows us. Like, not to say they do it on purpose, but why would you show the bad parts of it?
Yeah.
Like, why? Yeah. But again, to that point, like you wouldn't think of like, "Dad, man, my kid want to play all the time. Like, in theory, I should want to, but like, I just feel like sitting here.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, my kid want to watch this for 5 hours, the same thing on repeat.
Cocomelon.
I should want to spend this time, but it's so funny. Like, when my nephews or my girl kids and stuff like that, it's like, bruh, I'm to the point where like, I'm immune to them watching the same thing over and over. It's like, do it. You're quiet. It's so funny. Sorry, I got to tell a little kid story that we be done.
Oh my gosh.
They love Cars. I'm like, look, it's Cars. It's like, I know Cars is on TV. We watched it 5 times. I know. But it's cute. You get used to it. But like, they don't show you that. Like, you think, oh, I'm going to love it. I'm going to be energetic and want to do it all the time. Like, no, you're not.
No,
you're not. I don't care if they're your kids, nephews, nieces.
Yeah, I get exhausted about my nieces.
Because I get probably about 4 hours of sleep a night because once they shut down, I like go and I finally get to watch a TV show that I want to watch.
Yeah.
I finally get to
That's underrated.
Drink water by myself because my daughter loves water as well. I finally get to drink my water and not have to share it. Like, it's just stuff like I finally get to take a shower and not have to like rush through it. So, it's a lot to it.
We learned a lot today, man.
Appreciate it. We gotta do a part 2 or something. We gotta get LaShawn and Darian. We gotta get their point of view. We gotta do that.
That's a part 2 right there.
But appreciate y'all. Thank you.
That's it? I can get up?
Yeah.